Good day, I'm Samantha Allen and this is your JIS news for Tuesday, April 22. The unification of the Special Consumption Tax (SCT) on alcoholic beverages takes effect today. The tourism sector, like all other sectors, will now be required to pay $1,120 on each liter of alcohol. Tourism interests previously benefited from a concessionary rate of $700 per liter of alcohol. Finance Minister Dr. Peter Phillips, who made the announcement in his budget presentation on Thursday, said the move was in line with the government's plans to simplify the tax system.
We have found that the differential rates increase the administrative costs in the system and, quite frankly, is cumbersome and difficult to administer and allows for leakage of the revenues.
The government is expected to raise $844 million from the unification of the SCT on alcoholic beverages. Meanwhile, the finance minister has outlined other measures to fund the $540.1 billion budget. $421.2 billion is expected to come from revenues and grants, $110.9 billion from loans, and $1.4 billion from funds already available. That leaves a gap of $6.7 billion. Some of the measures to earn that include a requirement to pay GCT on vehicles up to 10 years old instead of the previous 8 years. $2.3 billion will come from a levy on withdrawals from deposit-taking institutions and encashments from security dealers. The levy ranges from 0.05% to 0.1% and will include electronic banking, point-of-sale transactions, and checks.
Less than $1 million, the levy rate is 0.1%, which would mean, Mr. Speaker, that for transactions of $1,000, $5,000 or $10,000, the associated levy payable would be $1, $5 or $10 respectively.
The tax package also brought some relief for citizens. Effective January 1, 2015, persons will be taking home a greater portion of their salaries when the income tax threshold increases by $49,920. Nearly 13,000 additional persons will no longer have to pay income tax when the threshold moves to $557,232 per annum. Students at the tertiary level will find it easier to fund their education when new policy changes at the Students' Loan Bureau take effect.
Interest due on outstanding loans to the SLB will not be calculated any longer on the current add-on basis, but on the reducing balance, thus reducing the monthly payment for the beneficiaries who pay.
The Bureau will also now accept guarantors over age 60 if they meet the criteria, and persons who are financially stable will be allowed to guarantee loans for a maximum of 3 students instead of 1. In addition, the moratorium period for students in the fields of nursing, pharmacy, and mechanical engineering, among others, will extend beyond December 31 of the year in which their courses were finished to include the time before they are licensed to practice.
This will ensure that these beneficiaries have the capacity to earn before they are required to start repaying their loans.
The SLB has set aside $2 billion to lend students in the upcoming academic year. That money, along with those in hand and those expected from collections, will help to satisfy the $4.8 billion demand. The Education Ministry is currently recruiting math specialists to be deployed in several primary and secondary schools come September this year. They are among 100 to be assigned to over 200 schools under the 4-year mathematics intensification program.
The Ministry's goal is to popularize the subject of mathematics, to take it beyond the walls of the schools and into the public domain. We've had to find over $150 million extra this year to get that program underway, which will eventually cost over 3 years more than $1.2 billion.
The minister was addressing the recent launch of CEPRAD's Butterkist National Primary Schools Mathematics Competition. The annual competition will be held on May 21, with 300 primary schools expected to participate. As government continues to emphasize community policing to create a safer Jamaica, new officers are being reminded to maintain their integrity and treat citizens with respect. The latest appeal came from National Security Minister Peter Bunting at the graduation ceremony of 195 officers from the Twickenham Park Police Academy. 38 of the new recruits are holders of bachelor's and associate degrees in a number of areas, including biochemistry, history, and criminology. Minister Bunting urged the new police officers to learn more about the process to encourage professionalism and accountability as part of measures to modernize the force.
And how you play a part in delivering on the results.
The minister's comments came on the heels of a reduction in major crimes in the first quarter of the year. Murders were down by 12%, serious and violent crimes by 13%, and accusatory crimes by 15%. And finally, the Office of Disaster Preparedness and Emergency Management says while the fire at the Riverton dump has not been extinguished, it remains confined to the tipping phase and is under control. The National Solid Waste Management Authority, Ministry of Health, Jamaica Fire Brigade, and other key response agencies remain involved in this latest response activity. ODPEM says additional fire breaks have been cut, so there is no immediate threat of further spread. The general public is meanwhile reminded to heed the precautionary measures to avoid igniting fires and take the necessary safeguards to protect life and property. And that's it for JIS News Today. I'm Samantha Allen. Thanks for watching.